Bifurcation shifts within antimatter geometry upon your solstice point, 21st of December 2020, created, if you will, an energetic pathway into your year of 2021. Whilst you stand collectively as a planetary humanity within awareness and acknowledgement of a new year, a new section of time at your January 1st time point, we say to you that your true beginning of that which is New Year is the March equinox. Both March equinox 2020 and in your new year of 2021 heralds a true new beginning of more than simply a year, but an age. For it is the age of Aquarius that is ushered in at these points in time, that which you know also as New Earth. So whilst your March equinox is the true New Year point for 2021, along with all other high energetic spike points, including the solstices and the Lionsgate portal in August, we speak now for your section of time that you celebrate and acknowledge as New Year, that beginning January 1st, 2021. The bifurcation that occurred energetically at your December solstice manifests physically in your reality. When we say physical, we are speaking here of the collective thought processes from the aspects of the human collective that have yet to make their choices. Whilst this can manifest physically as tectonic plate shifts, energetic magnetic pole shifts, and the like, these truly physical, geological manifestations are not set in your most probable timelines in their fullest expression. For those who have already made their choice to walk the positive path, the path of light and right, these are the ones we would call positively polarized. For these beings, physical shiftings are most unlikely to be experienced at all, except for those souls that have chosen the Florence Nightingale path, so to speak, and stand as helpers and healers, welcoming the newcomers into the positive path of New Earth as your time reality moves forward, expressed within linear time. For indeed, as we have spoken of before, there shall be those who walk the negative pathway, unbeknownst to them of the hijacking that is taking place. As triggers and catalysts for awakening are presented, they make the choice then to switch to the positive pathway. There shall be much of this switching from the negative to the positive in your year of 2021. You ask us how long it shall take for your reality to return to normal. Yet what you experienced as normal was a hijacked reality. Now you are in the time of the great shift, the time where those that hijacked your reality are exposed and the hijacking is no more. Your year of 2020 was muchly about the Great Awakening, and this shall indeed continue exponentially into your year of 2021. We would ask you, those of you who ask when shall things return to normal, when will all this end? We would ask you not to see your reality structure of chaos and control ending, but rather you seeing the new earth, the reality of sovereignty and true liberty beginning or indeed continuing. For what you see and know in this way manifests. As we have said back at your March equinox 2020 point, you are never returning to what you perceived to be normal. We repeat, you are never returning to what you perceived to be normal. That age has gone, it has passed, and you now enter the dawning of a new age. If we were to say to you that the time of chaos and collapse would take another 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years, many of you would move instantly into resistance and all that goes with that emotional and psychological state. Therefore, presenting the chaos and collapse of the old order within linear timeframes is not helpful to you and the tenuous ascension threads you hold right now. It is bliss, joy, excitement, and happiness that strengthen those threads of light and transform the tenuous into the strong and the sustainable. The time frames for the end of the old order and collapse of the dark, nefarious system are presented differently depending on the dimensional level. Within the third dimension, it takes time for a structure such as the service to self setup to collapse and fall. This collapse has been underway for many of your Earth years, most especially since the cosmic moment of the solstice point, December 21st, 2012. Within your year of 2020, this collapse was exposed to the peoples of your Earth. However, it was presented as chaos and collapse of reality itself, rather than the collapse of the hijacked false matrix system. This is due to the fact that these sleeping individuals were unaware of the hijacked reality and the false matrix system. In truth, the collapse took the form of an attempted planetary takeover, a culmination of a 70 years and thrice blueprint pushed forward due to extenuating circumstances. Yet based on the original blueprint for this nefarious plan, that which is New World Order rather than New World or New Earth, this was, if you will, quite behind schedule. The last-minute grapplings of a dying system, still holding enough power and still generating enough power, was that which fueled this attempted planetary takeover of 2020. Within the third dimension, this service to self-created blueprint that you know as New World Order plan is indeed a decade-long proposal, with 2030 the crux point of a slave race completion and full subservience of the human race to what they see as a higher order, a higher power. This blueprint or plan was created accounting for no interference or resistance. However, detours were created within the timelines, and the Starseed movement was underestimated as to its breadth and scope. That which you call Brexit, coupled with the top position of power within the land you call United States of America, taken by one not of the family, created detours to the original plan. These detours, intended to veer back to the original roadmap, created manifestations of a positive rather than a negative nature, much to the chagrin of those orchestrating the plan. The original roadmap was not then detoured back to, meaning this decade-long plan was no longer a clear and clean pathway to their victory, and much had to be amended at the last minute. The dissolution of the American Constitution was pivotal, was crucial to the success of their plan, and this has not and shall not occur. We repeat, and this is of most import, this has not and shall not occur. So a planned planetary takeover became an attempted planetary takeover, which thus became war, battle, or the cosmic chess game. This then triggered uprising and revolution within the vibration of the indigo spectrum. Unbeknownst to the service to self factions, the creation of the decade-long nefarious strategy plan created an equal and opposite match to it, that of the Starseed blueprint or template. For this is how polarized reality works. One cannot pull too far to the left without equally activating the right, and vice versa, as it were. One cannot go too far upwards without a match downwards, if you will. This is the law of balance. The Starseed template was the response to the organic call put out by the planetary body herself, known to you as Tara, Gaia, or Eartha. Therefore, two blueprints ran alongside one another. A decade-long service-to-self New World Order takeover, and the creation of Arcturian, Arthurian, Atlantean, Aquarian energetics, with assistance from Pleiadian, Syrian and Lyran collectives, and the acknowledgement and resurrection of the Lemurian way, the Christed Crystalla Christos templates, which are all that you know as New Earth Rising. An out-of-time, 0-point charged field, standing always in the now, and manifests always in the now. This is your gift within this polarity, the present. This plan of light would, has, is, and will counteract the decade-long nefarious planned takeover, also diluting planetary takeover to attempted planetary takeover. The word attempted is of most high import here, for attempt is not and never can be actualized when it is the energy of attempt that has manifested as the actuality. Therefore, to any multidimensional being or those holding fifth dimensional consciousness, length of time as to how long the collapse of the old order will take, or an answer to the question, when will all this be over, is irrelevant. For the fifth dimensionally embracing individuals stand in New Earth now. We repeat, the fifth dimensionally embracing individuals stand in New Earth now. There is no attempted planetary takeover from this perspective, which is a paradigm. It is a reality. All is done, completed and finished. What you see from this vantage point is a theatrical play-out, an illusory performance, a game. We see much polarity betwixt these dimensional paradigms. Those teachers of light amongst you who speak of the New World Order, transhumanism, high technology, artificial intelligence takeover, and draconian rule, and those who speak of the old order having collapsed, new earth structures being built and constructed now, and all that you see around you as the final play-out of a battle that has long since been won by the light. We say to you that both these presentations are correct, but they are bifurcated realities. Your choice of where you place your focus, your manifestation, and your consciousness creates the aspect of that bifurcated reality you experience. In 2020, the bifurcations at the time of the solstice, 21st of December, the grand configuration, the grand conjunction, presented as love and fear, good and evil, or positive and negative. This is indeed the true frequency of the bifurcation. This manifests as a dark and light polarity, seen either as dualistic reality as part of creation, or as a battle, war, or grand cosmic chess game. In 2020, this was a choice between clarity or chaos, truth or lies, right or wrong. Taking the polarity stance at this point took you either into the full third dimensional playout, if you were in resistance to the opposing aspect of the polarity, or without resistance, with neutrality and complex higher sight cohesively presented. This took you into integration, creating an integral sovereign being, or what you know as Ascended Master on Earth. In 2021, the frequency is much different and holds much, much more light. The heaviness and magnetic pull of the grand conjunction betwixt Jupiter and Saturn is tempered by the movements of the other magnetic giants in your solar system, bringing in the feminine and the crystalline. We speak of a different planetary configuration due to other planets joining the conjunction party, if you will, creating that which we may call a yod, as in Y-O-D. Our conduit does not have the required astrological knowledge for us to convey what we would present in its fullest. Yet it is important to express that the yod, along with the sacred trine and tetragrammaton, which are signs in your skies, present the black hole and the white hole on either side of their activated sphere or space, if you will. The side of the presentation as black hole or white hole is the bifurcated choice you take as to how you experience your reality at this point. We speak of 2021 as a year, as a whole unit. Even though we have stated your new year truly begins at the March equinox, the energetic of the yod and the new frequencies that are astrological begin on January 1st, 2021, for they are so intertwined with humanity's thought processes. So here you have two metaphoric structures with which to use for your creational templates for understanding, comprehension, and manifestation. The yod or trine as white hole and black hole, or the bifurcation of realities as a fork in time, as a split or a choice point. The interpretation of both these metaphoric paradigms can be taken via a negative or a positive presentation. As in astrology, so too as in the tarot, and indeed all forms of divination, but specifically astrology and tarot. This is duality and polarity. The light and the shadow, the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. You are moving into alchemical unification, which is the fifth dimensional template based upon the Trinity. The Trinity is the trifurcation and the true golden blueprint of reality. Yet to access the Trinity, one must integrate the bifurcation, and that means understanding and experiencing polarity, living through polarity, choosing the side before unifying with the whole. If integration is not undertaken, then you move into transcendence, which is not the path for the collective ascension within third density. It may be an individual path, but that would be for another time, another quantum expression. In the now, 0 point as you move into 2021. It is collective ascension via integration that you experience, for this is accelerated or Stargate ascension. The keys and triggers for this rapid light speed, warp speed momentum are presented in abundance throughout 2021 and beyond for those who choose the positively polarized bifurcated fork or the white hole aspect of the activated yod, trine or tetragrammaton. Such keys, codes, triggers and catalysts are delivered here and now within this transmission from us, the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, through our conduit Magenta Pixie, for accelerated or Stargate ascension, for those and to those who are receptive receptacles. In 2021, you are presented with choices of polarity in their multitude. For the awake and aware beings of light amongst you, your bifurcated polarity expression is integration or transcendence. Those who are ready to take the third way will experience and master both, and they will have found the Trinity. They master both simultaneously. All moves through the third, the number 3. For when you have 3, you have all. We repeat, when you have 3, you have all. For those who still sleep and hold on to their reality in order to remain within the last vestiges of the illusion of sanity, the bifurcated polarity expression is collapse or creation. We could present this also as crash or rebuild. Those who made their choices at the time of the Great Conjunction, December 21st, 2020, have already chosen the creational rebuild, which is New Earth. This is expression and experience of unification, community, love, togetherness, family of light, and the true organic human template. Their choice now is whether to integrate polarity or transcend it. Both hold within New Earth, yet it is the integrated who will survive and thrive within New Earth as the new builder race. Those within the third dimension will choose to experience either collapse, presenting as an entire crash of everything they have ever known, every system, every structure, and every belief. Those who choose creation or rebuild are choosing to come into the positively polarized aspect of the planetary and cosmic bifurcation. This is not just personal creation that will be experienced, but collective creation. Many will take this path at some point in 2021 due to the many, many catalysts that are presented to them. Yet still, there shall be those who choose to sleep and choose chaos, destruction, and collapse of their reality. They have the right to not know and are free to exercise their right to not know, even though they are hijacked. It is indeed a challenge for the lightworkers, starseeds, and awake to the truth organic humans to witness their beloved brethren be led astray in such a manner. However, each must become sovereign, and they do this through doing what they believe and perceive to be right, even though they are misled. So the overall presentation for your year of 2021 is bifurcation, choice, polarity. Indeed, polarity with the opportunity to transform that into polarity integration and thus alchemical unification. Within the fifth dimensional experience, this is already unity. It is the great gathering of the heart, mind, soul, and body and it is all you have been waiting for. This presents to you the trifurcation, which comes later in your linear reality on a physical level, collectively, but is experienced now by those who are ready. Those who know, feel, understand, process and experience the trifurcation, so too experience Stargate Ascension in all its glory and wonder. This is the time of the rapture, the lifting up into the heavens as you receive the glorification and anointing of the Christed Spirit. All this awaits you in 2021 if you so choose it. All this is yours now when you have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the heart to know. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And so it shall be, and so it is. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9.
What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate Ascension. This transmission is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria.